ready to
All
go?
right,
Yep.
why don't you tell us who you are and what office you're running for?
I'm Bobby Harris, and I'm running for Woodland City Council.
Okay, and I think our first question is what prompted you to run and why should someone vote for you?
Well, I first ran for Woodland City Council in 1990, 20 years ago. And I was the proponent at that time of downtown revitalization. And I ran again in 92 on the same platform. And I've long been interested in urban politics. This is not a recent interest in mine. At the time I ran in 1990, I was 4 years on the Woodland Downtown Improvement Association, board of directors, trying to find ways about the time redevelopment began that we could foster some kind of an urban renaissance in Woodland. And for various reasons, in the early 90s and toward the mid 90s, I wasn't able to continue with that work here in Woodland. And I left town for a decade, and then I came back in 2007. And in 2008, I became politically active again. I wasn't automatically. And I wanted to run for city council then to develop the issues, because I thought the public had an interest in better understanding the issues than they would get otherwise. And so I wanted to get involved and help the public comprehend the issues, even though I didn't really have an opportunity to win, I don't think. And, but I did only spend $100 on the election, and I received 1,000 votes. And so I won the vote for money contest. And I developed some issues that I thought have resounded within the community since that time. And we can talk about some of those in detail if you'd like to. But people should vote for me because I have the interest of living at heart. I have a thorough understanding of the community. And I have some vision and some imagination and some determination to develop innovation in Woodland. And we need desperately a creative spirit there and some fresh inspiration on the city council. As well as trying to resolve some problems we have in the community. And we have some deep problems. One motto I thought, you know, in terms of, I returned people asking me, why did I come back to Woodland? And I came back because this is my home. I made this my home in 1990 or 1980 when I moved here from Utah. And from 1980 until 97, it was my home. And I had to leave for a while, but I came back. Because that's the circumstances. You know, I've had some difficulty here back then and even now. And so I thought maybe a motto would be, you know, people say, why did you return? Why did you come back? And I came back to clean house, even if I don't have one.
Okay, Tori?
Bobby, you said that you felt there was a need. There were housing issues in Woodland. Of all the Yolo communities, Woodland probably has more affordable housing when compared to places like Winters or Davis. But of course, every community has housing issues. What do you see as the housing issues in Woodland?
Well, I believe you're right about Woodland having rental access at a low income level. But I think home ownership is another question. And even the city's home ownership, affordable home ownership program is in a crisis right now because it's riddled with developers' gimmicks. We're losing 25% of our affordable homes in Woodland right now that are developed for affordable occupancy because of a couple of gimmicks. One of them is there's a time limit on when you create an affordable home. You have to sell it and market it within 210 days, where it reverts back to the developer and to put it market rate. That's quite peculiar. We appear to be the only jurisdiction anywhere in the region that has that kind of a gimmick in it for developers. And as well as that, when they package these affordable home ownership, we only have 10% inclusionary zoning in Woodland. Okay. Personally, I would like to see 20%. You know, I think we need more affordable home ownership opportunities. I'd be willing to press the inclusionary zoning envelope of the developers to try to create that. Okay, but at the same time, we have even in the existing program, like the problem that I just mentioned, as well as when they package these homes, it's conventional to package them through principal interest, tax, and insurance. And you develop it in one package, and you sell that package. Well, in Woodland, for some silly reason, we do principal and interest, but then tax and insurance are add-ons. And this was suggested back at the time Spring Lake development was originated, because they said, well, people are supposed to only spend 30%, but they could spend 40%. You know, banks will loan up to 40%. And so we have room to do this. Now, the thing is, when you do that, it raises the income, you know, that people can qualify to pay more in terms of this package. And so it ends up, according to city staff, who I've interviewed about this problem at some length, city staff tells me it boosts the price of an affordable home in Woodland from $150,000 to $200,000. Because that way they qualify for, they can pay more in terms of their, now their home payment.
Right.
So at the time we originated Spring Lake, they didn't realize there was a Melrose district out there. You add up all these funds, you got $350 for taxes and insurance on top of the package, plus you got a Melrose district, there's another couple of 300. And so pretty soon you're really pressing that envelope by 40%. And so the city's had to struggle with its own home ownership, money that's provided to it from the federal government, everything else to provide these opportunities, to shoehorn people in at that 40%, because we bumped it up. And it's a developer gimmick, and it has to go. And as well as the time limit. And so another problem is the development fees are not proportional to the dwellings. If you build a 5-bedroom, 3-bath house on a huge lot, and then you build a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house on a small lot, they pay the same development fees. You know, and that creates an incentive for the developer to create bigger houses, because this margin is taken care of more easily in a larger house. And he has to cover that margin in a smaller house. You know, so it's a built-in disincentive for smaller homes that people can afford. You know, people from my generation were raised in 1,000 square foot, 1,200 square foot homes, 1,400 square foot. We survived, you know, and I think we should return to that kind of a consciousness in terms of equity in housing. If we do that with some creativity and living, you know, all the way around, not just for affordable homes under inclusionary zoning, I think we can make progress. There's a huge need for affordable home ownership. It's equity participation in the community. It's your social fabric. If you don't have an equity position, your attitude is different. Your perspective is different. We need to build that kind of solidarity in the community in an aggressive fashion. Let people know we need to let them into the community like that. Do everything we can to afford them that opportunity.
Okay.